On some old vintage machines which don't have a removable cover, the shaft here at the rear makes a bend. So that bend position depends on the position of the handwell, which means at certain position of the handwell, when you drop oil through those top holes, you will actually have the oil leak past the shaft and not onto the shaft. That's why on the Singer 99K, this is 185K, but on the 99K manual, it says, I'm going to link you that page, on bold letters, rotate the handwell to have the pickup lever at the lowest position. So you just rotate the handwell, just like you would use the same machine, and bring the pickup level at the absolute bottom position. It says that because at that position the shaft has, so this is the line of the holes, the shaft has rotated and now it's aligned with the hole and the oil will drop directly on the shaft. Otherwise, you simply are not lubricating two important points of the mine shaft, and that's where the forks attach to it. So imagine there is a shaft inside which is pretty thick, and these forks engage into the shaft and just stay vertical to transfer movement to the dog feed and to the shutter rotation. There is two forks like this. This is just one of them, and basically the forks would slide on the shaft with these shiny surfaces. And these are the surfaces you need to lubricate. And obviously the shaft also has a shiny surface on itself, and that oil has to drop on the shaft when the shaft bend is centered with the holes. That's for the 99K. The 185K, which I have here, does not mention that point in the owner's manual. And by the way, you just type Singer 99K PDF. Just type it like this and you will find a link to download the owner's manual. I think that mention it's about page 14 if I'm not wrong. As for the 185, it doesn't mention it. Perhaps there is a change inside, I don't know, but I would just not take a chance and just try to align the same way the pickup lever and put it at the lowest position and just lubricate it at that moment. Obviously you don't have to remove the handwheel. Mine is removed because I'm just cleaning the machine. One thing, if you have other models, again this is only for the machines that don't remove the cover. I'll tell you in a moment, this is a Singer 301. It's a different system, even though it's still a straight stitch. And this one is an older Singer, but if you have this kind of models, older Singer with oscillating hook, I think it's the same idea. So may want to put that pickup lever at the bottom. This one actually, it's a vibrating shuttle. I don't know if this have the same way of bent shaft on the rear. I don't know about this. One thing you may want to just try, but I'm not sure if this is a proper test, is to simply rotate the handwheel and have this is like a Q-tip or anything like this, keep it vertical, align it vertically, and just touch at the bottom, see if you touch something. But again, so this will tell you the drop of oil will fall on some mechanical component, but I'm not sure if this is a proper test. You may touch things inside and still not the right things that must be lubricated, because those forks are quite large. They can be on the side, so you may just basically put oil only on one side of the fork, so it may not get on the friction surfaces, contact surfaces that have to be lubricated. This is from the owner manual for Singer 99K. It's page 14, and it says here, important oil be applied to point A, which is above the front fork, when the take-up lever is at the lowest position. So basically, when the take-up lever is at the lowest position, somewhere here, you see that this bend in the mine horizontal top shaft this bend is going to be in a vertical plane, which means when the drop of oil falls, it falls on the shaft. However, if you rotate the hand well, imagine this point. If you bring this point 90 degrees here, you rotate the hand well, this bend and also the rear bend will now turn into an horizontal plane, and in that horizontal plane, if you go through along the shaft, this area here, this bend will be sideways. That's why the droplet will fall on the side, not on it. On the side, I mean, away from it. And possibly the same thing happens on the rear bend of the shaft. So this was the piece, the fork that I had in my hand, this one here, which touches the rear bend of the shaft. And there is another one which I cannot remove because it's a full loop. Which is touching the front bend. There is two contact surfaces here, and obviously that's a round contact surface on the shaft itself here and here. So just be aware of this. And also, lastly, if you don't have a sort of undercover, just remember that any oil that you drop from here will possibly go on your working table or anything that's underneath the sewing machine, so careful not to smear things. I was saying about the 301. 301 has a different system. Notice the shaft. This is the shaft I was talking about. However, the 301, also a Singer, is now using gears. Metal gears, has a top gear, a top set of gear, and a top bottom set of gear. And the shaft on these machines is straight. Therefore, when you lubricate, you don't have to set the handle at any position. It will always fall, hopefully, at the right location. But I recommend it's better to remove the cover and just put a bit of grease, clean here. I use a Q-tip to clean in between all channels of the gear to remove old metal debris. Those are the ones that goes where. So I perhaps use a isopropyl alcohol, try to find the 95 or 99% one concentration, and just clean each tooth of, actually in between the two tooths of each gear as much as you can reach, and only then put a light grease. I prefer grease on gears because you do it once and then it's good for decades. And there are obviously all the other lubrication holes. Make sure you find the ones that correspond with the top holes, or look in the owner's manual.